MLB might have another massive scandal on their hands because prospects have been caught lying left and right about their age. One guy that the Padres offered $4 million to lied about his age, not by 1 year, not by 2 years, but by 5 years. We'll talk about that in a second. Milwaukee, they're about to burn another relationship, full pun intended, considering what they did a couple years ago to Corbin Burns. They might be doing the same thing to Devin Williams. And also at the end of today's recap, we got to showcase all of the Gold Glove winners and who got snubbed. Just a reminder, everyone, Recap is brought to you by SeatGeek and Underdog Fantasy. Use code Fuzzy to save $20 off all of your tickets on SeatGeek, and my code Fuzzy on Underdog Fantasy gets brand new users a free pick'em on me. You're welcome. So before we talk about Milwaukee possibly burning another relationship, again, full pun intended, this time it's with Devin Williams, I want to talk about the fact that there is a Padres prospect that got caught lying about his age by 5 years. So they thought that he was 14 years old. Turns out he's 19 years old. And the craziest part about this is the fact that the Padres, they offered $4 million to this 14-year-old kid. And the way that these international contracts work is that you verbally offer it, and then when they turn 16 years old, then they can accept the deal. So I'm thinking in my head, why would he lie that he's 14? Why wouldn't he say that he's 16 so he can get the money now? Either way, whether he's 14, 16, first of all, offering $4 million to a 14-year-old is crazy, but he's not 14. He's 19 years old, and this is on top of what Major League Baseball discovered back in January, that 5 prospects for both the Red Sox and the Astros, so 10 prospects in total, had lied about their age. And according to the reports, over 170 kids from the DR have lied about their age. International prospects lying about their age is not a new issue, but they fixed it for a little bit, and now it's getting out of hand again. If you guys don't remember, back in the day, there was a Cleveland pitcher, 28-year-old Fausto Carmona, who was really good. He ended up being an all-star. He was actually 31-year-old Roberto Hernandez. So the story behind that is that Roberto Hernandez, when he was younger, paid the actual Fausto Carmona and his family to use Fausto's birth certificate to say that Roberto was Fausto. And essentially what happened is that Roberto was going to give the Carmona family money as he progressed through the big leagues, and I guess he stopped doing that, so the real Carmona family exposed him. We also know that there's other stories of Miguel Tejada, who was an actual MVP. He was on the Moneyball A's. People just forget about that, but that's a different story for a different day. He was 2 years older. Rafael Furcal, he stole 40 bases as a 19-year-old, which was a record for a teenager. That record went bye-bye because he wasn't 19 years old. He was 22 years old, and when I was growing up, I really liked watching Rafael Furcal when he was on the Dodgers. I had no idea that he lied about his age. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you make of this mess? Because it used to be a big issue. They kind of corrected it for a little bit, and after COVID, these fraud cases started exploding again. What's going on down there? All right, let's talk about Devin Williams, the fact that he has officially had his option declined, but that doesn't mean he's a free agent or that the Brewers aren't going to bring him back. The Brewers are rejecting his option because they think that they can sign him for less in arbitration. Now, this reminds me of what happened with Corbin Burns when he went through arbitration. The Brewers essentially blamed him, talking about Corbin Burns, a Cy Young winner, for missing the playoffs in 2022 due to his 3.9 ERA in the second half of that 2022 season. If you guys don't remember, here's the clip.
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying that the relationship is definitely hurt from what perspired over the last couple weeks. But, when some of the things that are said that for instance, basically put me in the forefront of the reason why we didn't make the postseason last year. I mean, that's something that probably doesn't need to be said. We can go about a hearing without having to do that. Some of the stuff that was said that definitely didn't need to be said is something that I think kind of disappointed everyone.
The Brewers obviously won that case, and they saved a whopping $750,000. You're telling me that Corbin had been with the organization for 6 or 7 seasons, he wins a Cy Young, and you argue with him over $750,000? Now, granted, when guys go into arbitration, the players present their value, the Brewers present their value. You don't really know ahead of time what each person is going to bring to the table. But again, they essentially said that Corbin Burns caused them to miss the playoffs over $750,000. Whether you like that or not, that's pretty much what happened. And now it seems like they might do the same to Devin Williams, because we know the last time that we saw Devin Williams, despite the fact that he has a 1.7 ERA with 361 strikeouts his last 220-ish innings. Those are mythical numbers. The last time that we saw him, he gave up that home run to Pete Alonso, so they're obviously going to use the same tactic and say, hey, you cost us a chance at the NLDS. We are not going to give you the money that you deserve because you blew it. That's your fault. We're not going to look at the sample size and your track record. That was your moment and you blew it. So maybe the Brewers are going to try and trade Devin Williams because they have a Trevor McGill. They have a Brian Hudson who looked fantastic. Maybe they go with Aaron Ashby, another lefty flamethrower, and maybe he turns into a Josh Hader type. I have no idea what's going to happen from this Devin Williams option being declined, but usually when people go to arbitration and you're on the Brewers, good things are not in your future. Now, staying with deals that have been declined, Roki Sasaki, he declined the latest offer from the JPL League, so that can mean one of two things. One, he's trying to be posted for Major League Baseball, or two, he just wants more money from the Marines. That's the team that he's on in the JPL. Roki turned 23 years old yesterday, and in his JPL career, he has a 2 ERA with 524 strikeouts and 414 innings. That is ridiculous stuff. You guys probably remember him from the World Baseball Classic. His fastball averaged 100.5 miles per hour with a max of 101.9, let's just call it 102, and his fastball had 15 inches of run. But that's not even his best pitch. Talking about the fastball, his splitter averages 91 to 93 miles per hour with an average vertical drop of 31 inches. But his best in the World Baseball Classic was 37 inches. If you do the math, maybe you're not from America, that is over 3 feet. A 91 mile per hour splitter dropping 3 feet with a 102 fastball in your back pocket. What even is that? That sounds like Paul Skeens. So let me know in the comments your predictions. If he does in fact get posted and comes to Major League Baseball, is he a Dodger? Is he a Yankee? Is he a Mariner? Where's he going? Michael Waka is a very rich man. 3 years, $51 million. That is the brand new contract that he got from the Royals. Now, a couple years ago, I genuinely thought that he pitched his way out of Major League Baseball. Maybe he was going to get one final minor league deal. And I say that because he had a 5.11 ERA from 2019 to 2021. Again, I thought that his career was over, but he bounced back in 2022 with the Red Sox. He had a 3.3 ERA that season. He was even better last year with the Padres, and he was great with the Royals again. So obviously, 3 years, $51 million. You can't do anything but tip your cap, and it's impressive the fact that Michael Waka saved his career. Now we got to ask the question, can Joey Gallo, a former two-time Gold Glove winner, a former All-Star, can he pull a Michael Waka and somehow save his career? Let's talk about the Gold Glove winners from the 2024 season. They were just officially announced, and we have 14 first-time winners. For catchers in the AL and the NL, we have Cal Raleigh of the Mariners. So not only did he smack 34 home runs, but he won a freaking Gold Glove. That is as valuable as you can get from a catcher. Patrick Bailey of the Giants, he wins for the NL. He's probably the best catcher I've seen since Yadier Molina at controlling the run game. He's absolutely diabolical. You do not run on Patrick Bailey. So that is catchers. We have 38-year-old first-time Gold Glove winner Carlos Santana winning at first base for the Twins. He's the oldest player ever to win their first Gold Glove. On the NL side of things, we have Christian Walker. I mean, he's a straight-up vacuum over there. He has won 3 consecutive Gold Gloves. Maybe if Bryce Harper stays healthy, he can challenge a Christian Walker. We know that Matt Olson is a vacuum over there as well, but Christian Walker has won 3 in a row. Same with Andres Jimenez. He's going to be a platinum glover probably, so he's won 3 straight. Bryce Terang is the prototypical second baseman from the 70s and 80s. He stole 50 bags and he won a Gold Glove. Alex Bregman, he saved the perfect moment to win his first ever Gold Glove, and that's because he's about to be a free agent, and he was pretty good at getting on base, at least in the second half in 2024. Matt Chapman, the dude's won 5 Gold Gloves already. Shout out to Matt Chapman. Bobby Witt Jr., he got his first. Ezekiel Tovar also got his first as well. Let me know in the comments, do you think that someone else deserved it over Tovar? Maybe a Francisco Lindor. Tovar did lead in the DS department, whereas Lindor led in the outs above average department. Either way, though, you got to tip your cap to Bobby Witt Jr. and Ezekiel Tovar. Stephen Kwan, another Guardian who has won 3 consecutive Gold Gloves. Now, I believe he's one of 6 players in the history of baseball to start their career winning 3 Gold Gloves in a row. The Cubs left fielder Ian Happ, another guy in today's video who has won 3 consecutive Gold Gloves. Dalton Varsho, it's time. He finally got his first Gold Glove, and Brenton Doyle of the Rockies, he wins center field for the National League, so that is 2 in a row. Wilyer Abreu, is he going to have a chance at winning the Rookie of the Year in the American League? I don't think so, but hey, he wins a Gold Glove in his rookie season. On top of the fact that he also had a pretty solid season offensively, Sal Frelick, he is a second baseman masquerading as a right fielder. He's like 5'7", 5'8" with cleats on, but again, just like I've talked about with a couple guys, he's an absolute vacuum no matter where you put him. And then in terms of the utility guy, we have Dylan Moore. he wins the utility Gold Glove over with the Mariners. And then Jared, they call him the Big Tree Triolo. He wins in the NL. So no Cabrian Hayes this year, only one Pirate. And then starting pitchers, you have Seth Lugo. He wins his first Gold Glove as a starting pitcher. And then Chris Sale. Chris Sale is going to win a Gold Glove and a Cy Young in the same season. You guys remember who used to do that a lot? A Brave who used to have a lot of Cy Youngs and Gold Gloves. Reminds me a lot of Greg Maddux. Obviously, Chris Sale is different than Greg Maddux, but you know what I'm trying to say.